My name is Keisha Ram. I'm a state legislator in Vermont, actually the youngest in the country right now. My mother is Jewish. I grew up in Los Angeles. She grew up in Chicago, and her family came from Ireland, England, and Russia, fleeing persecution of the Jewish people in Europe. And she raised me with, a lot of Jewish values, a lot of understanding of my heritage, but there's nothing like coming to the Holy Land and experiencing it myself. So as an elected official, it's really wonderful to open my mind to what's going on here, the political spectrum, how people live and interact. But as a young Jewish woman, this is my first opportunity to open my heart and my eyes to what's going on here and what I can learn about who I am.
So what would you say is the big eye-openers, the things that, wow, it's only when you hear you see?
We went to Tzfat earlier, a couple days ago, a very ancient, beautiful city on a mountain, and I just don't think there's anything like that kind of experience, to be somewhere that has so much history, meet people who are studying the Kabbalah deeply, seeing how connected it is to other cultures, other practices, but also how deeply rooted it is in Jewish heritage and things that I never knew about. So it's really wonderful for me to see how deep and rich and diverse Jewish culture and heritage is.
Now, you're here, of course, as a Jewish girl. As an elected official, do sometimes other people feel maybe that you're a representative of the Jewish people?
That's a big, tough call. We've been around Tel Aviv today learning about all the different kinds of Jewish people there are, the different political beliefs, the different political activists and activities that have happened here. So I think it would be quite a big charge to be a Jewish representative. But, with all the diversity that exists in the United States, there are still fewer Jewish elected officials than we might like, who bring that perspective and that heritage. So, it is really interesting to talk about my culture with other elected officials and how we all bring that difference to the table.
So your mother is Jewish, your father is from India. Any connection between the two cultures?
Well, I always like to joke that in Jewish culture, if your mother's Jewish, you're Jewish. In Hindu culture, if your father's Hindu, you're Hindu. So we were raised both, and our parents both, gave us this understanding of being kind and respectful to other people, to nature, really experiencing deeply what it means to give back and give back to your community, be charitable. We were learning about the Kabbalah. It's very similar in a lot of ways from my superficial understanding to a lot of Hindu beliefs in enlightenment and reincarnation.
It's known that sometimes many people after the army go to India. And it's known that also sometimes there's a phenomenon that people find Judaism there and come back and connect, and they're looking for something.
Yeah, I was talking to, a little bit of a guru, but more of an artist in Tzfat, and he was saying that a lot of Jews go to India and their gurus there bring them back to Israel and say, you should really learn how deep your culture goes and then experience other cultures from there. And so that's, I think, a really key message for me, is to go deeply into Judaism so I can appreciate it more and understand its connection to the rest of the world.
About being a state representative so young, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 25. I started in the legislature when I was 21.
Maybe in America it might be special that a young person is involved in politics. Would you say that here it seems that every young teenager already knows exactly what he wants and is very, very involved?
I have been talking to a lot of folks about the military service here. I think it's incredibly unique and in many ways positive. Of course, everything has its challenges. I mean, to be so young and to serve and to be away from home. But I think we could use more mandated service in the United States, more opportunities for young people to get order and structure and a sense of purpose. So young people just seem to be very grounded here. And actually, you were mentioning traveling. When I first left the United States, it was to travel South America. I was in Peru, I went to Brazil and Venezuela, and some of the people I met who were the most mature but also the most fun to be around were Israelis who were coming out of the army. So I had this deep love and understanding that, young Israeli people, they travel the world, they see things, and they have real level of maturity that a lot of other young people don't have.